once again, the figures are in, and they're biting the government in the arse, despite what they say. The new numbers reveal that the number of migrants of refugee status on universal credit in the UK has doubled over the last 3 years. If that is not an open invitation to chance your arm at being picked up by a lifeboat mid-channel and be led to the land of milk and honey, I don't know what is.
Yeah.
Let's dig a little bit into the numbers. 124,833 claimants with refugee status were receiving the benefit, which are around about £1,000 a month since last October. Another 53,240 people who were not able to be returned to their country of origin because of human rights laws, between the wrong chicken nuggets to imprisonment.
Yeah.
They also are on universal credit. In contrast to 2022, where 64,423 refugees and 3,221 human rights claimants received the universal credit payment. So it's more than doubled. The number of people with indefinite leave to remain rose from 95,612 to 218,944 during the same time frame. Those that might have been able to come here legally, leave to remain.
Yeah.
So that's more than doubled. 3 years. The Department of Works and Pensions said 75% of refugees and 66% with leave to remain were not in employment, as well as 60% of those remaining because of human rights cases. In the same time frame, the number of UK, Irish or EU nationals receiving universal credit rose 47% over the same period to 7,773,162. Helen Watley, Shadow Work and Pensions Secretary, said, "We are seeing a conveyor belt from the asylum system to the benefit system." Of course, she said this not offering the minimum of a solution to revert the problem. Just complained about it. As I've said before on this podcast, we carry no water for politicians. I don't care who. Nor their party. And a note to Mrs. Watley: if you can't add anything constructive, a lot of the time it's better to say nothing. It's lazy just to criticize and not have an idea for a solution. So there you are. That's the numbers in. Up.
Yeah, well,
over. It's a lot of claimants.
Yeah, I mean, the biggest shock would have been if you told me it actually declined. Well, it probably wouldn't be a shock because probably somebody had been massaging it then. So at least we probably got honest figures. Yeah, it's. This is happening all the time. And it's like you say, the problem is you're getting all the politicians jump in who, we have all this. Everybody's saying, this is so wrong. I don't believe that the Conservatives or the Tories, whatever you want to call them, have any leg to stand on, as it were, because it was happening under their watch as well. And okay, other parties are coming in with what you call suggestions. I wouldn't say solutions, suggestions.
Fresh ideas.
Yeah. And okay, how are you actually going to make this happen? Like you said, it's all right to stand in the wings and say, okay, the problem is that, okay, opposition politicians will always have is yes, they know there's the problem. This is the solution. Okay, I agree. What's your strategy for implementing this? Well, we can't do it. We can't be certain of this until we get into power, which is the problem. And then they'll get into problem and they'll find they'll be blocked all the time by various different techniques. They'll be up against agendas. They'll be up against the ECHR. They'll be up against, the lawyers that are getting fat and earning a lot of money from this problem.
British politics is a little bit like a pantomime, where you got the actual administration on the and the opposition is in the audience just shouting boo.
Yeah.
They aren't even giving any advice. It's behind you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
They don't do that. It's just boo. Boo. Boo.
Yeah. I mean,
the country cannot move forward without the help from both sides of the house.
Well,
which is something that the Americans do.
Yeah.
They come together and strike some sort of deal in the middle.
Yeah. Non-partisan agreements. And I mean, it does happen in the House of Commons as well, or it happens in the Parliament as well, where they have the select committees and all the other things where the idea is that you get selected, you end up on the committee, or they have people from the opposition chair subcommittees, they get elected, get selected. They do get some money for doing it, admittedly. I don't know how it works in the US, but I know they have cross-party working committees. And okay, it's all open. It's all available for you to watch on the Parliament channel in the BBC or in the UK. I'm not quite sure where you can see it. It's online as well, where you can see them just chewing the fat over these problems, asking the questions, deciding they've got a problem that has to be resolved. Go away. We've got to think about and come back, and then they issue. Your department has now got to come back with the solutions. And then we get into the thing is they offer the 3 solutions, 2 of which are totally unpresentable, and the third one, which is a status quo. Yep. And then, and then it's the old thing. Maybe there's something we can do about it. No, there's nothing we can do about it. Then there's nothing we can do about it. And then the final stage is maybe there is something we could have done about it, but it's too late now.
But just before the elections, they say, yes, of course we can resolve it. Of course we can.
Yeah.
Of course.
I mean,
so, it just must be a huge lie.
Well, again, it's called the blob. The blob blocks everything. And the blob is probably connected with the ECHR lawyers. And
which is what, once again, I go back to the electioneering. Well, it's a lie.
Yeah. How do you know when a politician is lying when they're speaking? That's probably not fair, not for every politician, but the 90% give the 10% a bad name. It's again, how can this be stopped? How do you stop the how do you prevent this happening? How do you prevent false claimants? How do you prevent anything? How do you sell this to the guy, the family who've got 2 kids are struggling to pay their mortgage or their rent and put food on the table? To see hotels full of people that are being in the process of being processed, being processed as it were, actually being receiving money to do things, wandering around doing nothing all day. What happens? You disincentivize people to actually go to work. They might as well become claimants as well themselves, because anything they do, they have it all taken away from them. And I mean, this is the effect it has on people, is low morale. Well, I'm going to say something now, and I won't say get in trouble for it. It's obvious what's happening. The average Mr. Joe Weeks on the street is now beginning to get just a little bit wised up to all this. These figures are coming out. He's becoming Mr. Angry from Tunbridge Wells, and it is beginning to affect not just inverted commas the working class, which I've never understood what working class is. Yeah, because working class for me is somebody that does a cleaning job every day, right up to a chief executive of a bank. They all go to work to earn money. Yeah. And yeah, all got different abilities. There's nothing stopping, hopefully one. Yeah. Okay. But none of them probably want to see their money that they earn, they pay taxes for, and not reaping the benefits back from society, be it good roads, be it healthcare, be it or state healthcare, state education for their kids. Okay, somebody who's a chief executive probably got private education, but take that outside. Or a lot of them choose not to do that sometimes, or other things as well, such as libraries, such as
Well, now you're going on to how governments spend money on all aspects of society.
yeah,
And I want to hone in on this thing about the illegal immigrants coming across.
yeah. But I'm saying,
I mean, the UK can instantly stop the influx of refugees by simply saying, right, we're not receiving any more refugees. Done.
well, that's the core problem, and um, I'm saying, yeah, I've told the knock.
In the US, no more refugees from the Arabic states.
Mhm,
No more from Haiti.
mhm.
No more from Somalia.
Yeah.
There you
Well,
are.
yeah. Oh, well.
Done. It's done.
The trouble is, if you stop the kids coming in from Somalia, who will go to the day schools will have to close, won't they? Because there won't be any students there. Um, yeah, yeah. That's a US problem. That's not a British problem.
No,
Um,
but it's the principle. It's the
yeah, the
principle.
principle. Yeah, we've got to. Yes. How do you stop the boats coming in? And as I was sort of saying, the average man on the street is becoming wise to this, asking the questions, and then gets told, "Oh, you're being very unreasonable," to the point of unwelcoming.
Right. Without actually answering the question.
Yes, and yeah, and yeah. I mean, I have heard more than one or two extreme solutions to the issue, which yeah, I wouldn't advocate at all. And I said to one person that said it to me, please don't say that outside our conversation here, yeah, because I can't support it. But yes, frustration is growing in the UK about this. And it is not to say government money or public money. It's our money. It's people listening to this podcast money. And when their auntie or their niece needs to go for an operation on their leg and gets told, well, no, you can't do that because, yeah, our resources are being used elsewhere. We don't have the money to do it. Yeah, the delay is there. And then people are getting healthcare paid for. And again, yes, this is all part of it. Yeah, they're getting the money for this. They're getting their own GP in the hotels or wherever accommodation they're being given. Probably even if they get separate accommodation in B&Bs or wherever, they'll be
we're talking about long-term people
yeah,
here on universal credit.
yeah. But I'm saying they're all going to be given things as well. So it's just not then being given the money. The money comes from a central pot somewhere, bit allocated in funds or allocated in accounts, different accounts. It stems from when you're paying your 24% on your on the pound tax. It's getting channeled from there.
It'd be interesting to know if in other countries in Europe, if refugee status has been given to more than 100% increase over the last 2 years of migrants reaching other European countries.
Well, Italy, I think, are trying to stem the flow. Germany are, so I imagine it's probably hit a high level. So
It's got
I
to
don't
be
know about
typical
yeah,
because
I don't know about Spain. I don't know about the Nordic
Spain
countries.
is just liberated 500,000 people
Mm,
to hang around to get a job and be
yeah,
legal for a few years.
yeah, and then yeah, I mean, again, we all know the solution. Part of it involves stopping it coming in this end. The other part of it involves getting the aircraft to fly out from the other end. Was it a plane an hour or something to actually clear the problem? Yeah, and yeah, I mean, again, that there was a certain other centre right party which is saying it's going to be doing this. They're in a position to say it. Will they? Will they achieve it if they get into power, which might be
Well,
happening sooner rather than later?
yeah, well, time will tell.